why do the Iranian mullahs hate pets so much?
Oh yeah, didn't they
So
do something like kill like loads of dogs recently or something from a shelter?
I don't know if they killed them or not, but
I read
pet,
something. I don't know. Maybe
really,
it'll come up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I haven't read the article either, so I mean, I read it live, like I don't because I want my
Yeah.
reaction to be raw and real. So it says Islamic Republic of Iran has had an unfavorable opinion of having pets over the last few years. Okay, so just over the last few years. The country is now considering a law to ban pets such as dogs, cats, and even crocodile. I think it should have been the other way around. It should have been ban pets such as lions,
Crocodiles.
tigers, crocodiles, and even dogs and cats. Yeah, because I think that, crocodiles should be banned anyway. they should be
Yeah, you
they
shouldn't be
should be
keeping
pet.
them as pets.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you go to your, you go to your friend's house and he's got a pet crocodile, and you go for a bath in a bathtub. Whoa, there's a big salty in there.
I would have a heart attack on the spot. Crocs are like one of
Yeah.
my worst fears, honestly. They've just been
What
around for
about
so long, man. They
what
are
about
actual
snakes?
monsters.
Yeah, they're living
Snakes
fossils.
are
Yeah.
bad too, but yeah, Crocs are just a whole nother level. Their scales, the way you just see their eyes shine on the top of the water, the way they do what's that roll when they're trying to kill the
Death
bear.
roll.
Death
Death
roll.
roll. Yeah. So if you put if it grabs your arm and then it does a death roll, that's it. It just snaps it. Obviously, because you're unless you roll with it, which you won't,
Yeah, well, you'll be
because your whole
snapped as
body.
you try to anyway, because of the thrust of the water and the way the Crocs rolling. God, their tails as
Yeah.
well, the whip. Anyway,
Well, in
I
well
was
in water.
sorry.
It,
Yeah.
yeah. Go on. Yeah.
No, Grey Jetty was just saying, yeah, they killed a lot of dogs recently. Okay, I was not imagining that. Yeah, I'll try and find that article. Thank you for verifying that. And Dee, this is
But
your article. So yeah, shout out to Dee. Dee's
oh,
the
dear.
editor, I think, for Atheist Republic News.
All right, D. You should have said lions, tigers, crocodiles, and even dogs and cats. I don't know why you put emphasis on crocodiles there, but anyway, yeah. Well, there you go. That's your article. Thank you for providing us. Keep doing your great work. So, the Parliament of Iran is on the verge of passing the Protection of Public's Rights Against Animals bills, which outlaws pet ownership without a permit issued by a special committee. Those found in opposition to this law would be subjected to a fine of around $800. Oh, that's a lot. Can be detained. The permit can only be used for importing, buying, selling, transporting, and rearing animals. Yeah. So why the banning? Having dogs at home is considered unhygienic. Yes, in traditional Iranian culture, in Islam, dogs are considered to be impure animals. What's the hadith, Nuria? That the house that has. Oh no, there was an event. Muhammad.
Gabriel didn't come to Muhammad for a couple of days. He was late.
And yeah, and then Muhammad said, well, where have you been, mate? I've been waiting for you the last couple of days. I was hoping for an update." And he says, "Oh, there was a dog there."
No, there was a little puppy under his bed, and that's why Gabriel couldn't enter the house, and therefore, no, when there's a dog in the house, no angel will ever enter it.
It's so freaking arbitrary, isn't it? Why just dogs? Like, seriously. Why
And then
dogs? Why
especially
not?
even within dogs, like black dogs are the devil. Like definitely
Yeah.
kill them. It's
Yeah.
just
We actually have a section today that we're going to talk about where Muhammad used to make up stuff as he went along. So I think I should add that one in there as well. Like how first Muhammad said, "Oh, kill all dogs," and then some shepherds said, "Well, what about us?" He said, "Oh, okay, unless those dogs that you have some utility of, and but kill all black dogs."
yeah, exactly.
Racist much?
Yeah, I know. And just no regard for life, like whatsoever.
Yeah. The local police in Tehran started a crackdown on citizens who were walking their dogs in public parks as a measure to protect the safety of the public. Oh, that little chihuahua. Yeah, that's going to, endanger your Iranian public. It's going to be danger for
Honestly. And
Iran.
that's more like a god. I mean, dog than your god.
The president of the Iran Veterinary Association, Dr. Payam Mohibi, is against the bill. Oh, okay, good on him. He stated debates around this bill started more than a decade ago when a group of Iranian MPs tried to promote a law to confiscate all dogs and give them to zoos or leave them in deserts. Over the years, Deserts. Yeah. So what? Just let them go. Yeah, just go
Yeah.
live on your own. Over the years, they have changed this a couple of times and even discussed corporal punishment for dog owners, but their plan didn't get anywhere. So yeah, what's this? The authorities are also triggering other animals such as cats and even crocodiles. D, can you come and tell us like what is it like? What's with crocodiles? Why this one seems like an odd one. The country where the famous Persian cats originated may soon lose their homeland. The authorities have
It's
even created
terrible.
prison. They've created prison for
What?
dogs.
What?
You're a dog. Let's take you to prison. It's like, oh, what did I do? Nothing. You're just a dog. That's why. That's your crime.
Like not
Some
even
people say,
kennels or anything, a prison for dogs, as if they're out there committing crimes. This is crazy.
I guess it might be like kennel, but
No,
they're just
if
gonna
they're
call it.
calling it a prison, I doubt it's anything like a kennel.
Well, that could be a little
I
bit
don't
of
know what.
sprinkling. That could be a little bit of sprinkling from our D.
We'll have to ask Dee herself.
Some people say pets are just animals, while others say they are as important to them as their own family and friends. That's
Family,
true.
yeah.
Anyone who's ever had a pet, like I, being a Pakistani, obviously, like I wasn't very dog friendly because I didn't grow up with dogs. But when I had my first dog, like I was just like, oh, this dog is your family. It literally becomes your child. It becomes your baby.
100%.
Um,
My dog, I think, went up the hierarchy above our siblings for
yeah,
my mum. Honestly,
yeah. It's I think it's a bit of a moral dilemma as well. A lot of kids are asked this question. And if you see a human that you don't know of is drowning, and then you have a dog drowning, your own dog drowning, who would you pick? And a lot of kids always answer that I'll pick my dog. And like on a larger scale, yeah, of course you'd say that. Okay, like human life should be above any animal's life, but that's not how we see things. Because that shows our bond that we become. Like we there's something in us that we start treating them as family, and I think we could make that an exception for dogs. Again, please don't bite my head off, because dogs also, and the tons of evidences of that. This is just a counter argument. This came to my mind because it's a difficult one to tackle, because as humans we would always say yes, humans should be above any other animal, but dogs also would pick you, a different species, over their fellow dog if they're not
yeah, true.
related to it.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
the
so inbuilt in them to guard you and protect you that you become their pack essentially when they're part of your. So the family thing is reciprocated with you being their pack member, and they'll guard you and protect you. And even those, have you seen like those when there's people go off to the army and they come back years later and their dog hasn't seen them for years, and just, oh my god, the way they like run up the escalator in the airport and they're just so happy to see their owner, like they don't forget. And the ones that go to the deceased owners' graves and just sit there, there's like such, oh my gosh, dogs are just
the,
insanely loyal.
there are quite a lot of them where their owner, and then they obviously set it up, and then dogs and they jump in a lake or a body of water, and then these dogs are like having panic attacks. They're like crying,
Yeah.
whimpering, and then they eventually jump in, and then they go and grab them.
And it's every
So
single time, like when I'd come back from work, my dog would be going crazy, like his little tiny Shih Tzu, and he would just like his tail be wagging, be jumping up, and I'm like, relax, you're gonna have a heart attack. And it's the
yeah,
same thing every day. It's the same level of happiness. It doesn't change.
yeah, I think dogs are here to share love and happiness.
Yeah. I found
Um,
the article though. Can we just have a quick read of that
sure,
piece of
sure,
history? Yeah.
yeah.
Like Iranians protest state's brutal killing of stray dogs. They killed over 1,000. This is insane. Dozens of animal rights activists protested in the Iranian capital over the weekend against the abuse and killings of stray dogs by the municipality. The protests were held outside Tehran's city hall after a video emerged online showing the gruesome killing of stray dogs, including puppies, with injections that made them whine and cry in pain before dying. Activists said they believed the dogs had been put down with acid injections. The video led to widespread outrage on social media, prompting activists to renew their calls for legislation to protect animals. I don't think we want to watch that video. I've not
No,
seen it.
no.
A woman
No, I don't
in
think you need to.
Tehran said that she joined the protests after watching the brutal treatment that the stray dogs were subjected to. The cruelty is unbearable. Why do we have to witness such behavior? It's against humanity, and it shows that we need a law to protect the poor animals, the mother of two said. Today is the day of mourning, some of the protesters chanted at the August 19th protest, while others called for the resignation of Tehran's incompetent mayor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But stray dogs, it is a bit of a challenge though. Like
Oh.
if you don't control them. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying this is an interesting take that somebody said we do not allow any contract or authority to treat God's creatures in violation of human and Islamic values, which is so ironic considering what the Islamic value is on dogs and the Islamic perspective.
Yeah,
is.
but Iran is a Shia country, so I don't know if
That's
Shia
true.
Hadiths.
I don't know if they have the same. Oh, we really need to know more about Shia Islam. I don't know what their take is on dogs.
It's only 5% of Islam, so it's unnecessary. I was actually looking up some, and I was trying to find something on Umar, and then my keywords led me to a lot of Shia Hadiths, which actually, Shia Hadiths is so bad. They were actually saying Umar would go to these slave markets because I was finding evidence. I was trying to send this guy evidence of how there's a lot of slave trade carried on even in the time of Muhammad and first four caliphs, because they were saying that no, you could only get war captives, but you could not sell them. Keep selling and buying after the initial transaction. So I found one hadith, one instance from Shia book that actually said Umar used to go to these slave markets, and he would literally put his hand inside the clothes of girls who were standing in the market to be bought, and he would actually like really squeeze their bum and really
and that's
touch them up.
like that's narrated in the hadith quite explicitly.
Yeah. Well, it was obviously not the hadith, but yeah, it was one of the respectable Shia books. Yeah.
Okay.
So I reckon, because Shia books, and as we learned from the Lady of Heaven movie, I reckon their secondary and tertiary sources would have so much filth on Umar and Abu Bakr that we need to dig up on, because obviously they wouldn't say anything bad about Muhammad or Ali. Fair enough, but at least we can get it. What do we have on Abu Bakr and Umar?
Yeah,
but anyway,
it's always interesting to see the counter narrative. Do you know what I mean? For some, obviously from the Sunni perspective, they're just held in the highest esteem. But seeing the flip side would be so interesting to see that the take that, and to bring out another side of the character that obviously Sunni Islam doesn't allow you to see.
Yeah. Coming back to the stray dog parts, like I just wanted to put it out there that I think it is a little bit tricky, because I remember basically in all these third world countries, there are a lot of like stray dogs are always there. Like even when you go to Thailand, and sometimes you pity them, like they've got an eye missing and one leg limping or broken leg or something, and you're like, well, what do you do? So obviously these countries, they don't have the resources to actually put them all in a kennel or something, or neuter them. They don't have the resources, so they either kill them or leave them, and when they leave them, they become a pest, basically. So, they keep increasing in numbers. So, it is a bit of a tricky one. I don't know what the solution would be. I mean, in an ideal world, the solution should be just neuter them, so they don't they don't breed anymore. But yeah, they don't have these resources. So with stray dogs, it is a bit tricky. In Pakistan, there are a lot of stray dogs in Pakistan. In Pakistan, local council will say we'll give you 100 rupees if you. This is again going back in the 90s. We'll give you 100, and they've done that ever since. We'll give you 100 rupees, 1,000 rupees, or whatever the rate is, if you bring a tail of a dog as evidence that you've killed it. So there was a time when you could see a lot of dogs without tails, because people were not killing dogs; they were just cutting the tails. Again, I shouldn't laugh at that, but well, I guess losing your tail is better than losing your life. But yeah, it's a big problem though. They actually don't have any. I don't think there's a simple solution to it, other than killing.
Yeah, well, it's just, I think, just to make things clear in case that was an old article as well. What they've done in Iran, I think this is the proper article from what happened a couple of days ago. But yeah, this is it. Sorry, let me get to the top. So I don't even know if it's a matter of just stray dogs in terms of why the Iranian government is doing it. But so they slaughtered over 1,700 dogs in a shelter. And it says that obviously the clergy consider dogs to be dirty, and they recently cracked down on pet owners. So with police declaring that walking dogs in parks was a criminal offense. So what they're saying in Iran is basically that they're trying to take away people's like a genuine comfort that they have, because this is depriving pet owners. So like the Ali Khamenei regime's main reason for incessant killing and promoting the culture of cruelty to animals is another way of depriving the Iranian people of joy or comfort that animals bring to humans. It's the old-fashioned irrational methods of control imposed by the authorities in the USSR or the Chinese Communist Party, is what this Iranian American journalist has said. So it's actually cracking down on pet owners and depriving people of the opportunity to have pets. If you're starting, oh, you're on mute, Horace.
No, carry on. That was good. That was good that I was muted so I could interrupt.
Well, it's the moment's past now, but yeah. So basically, this also it's deeper than that. It wasn't just like a stray dog situation. It's actually trying to, as Islam does when it's in power, suck the joy out of life in every way it can.
Yeah, and anyone who's ever had a pet would tell you that is actually so important for a young child, even a grown up. Because I said, like, I had a dog as a grown up, and then once I had it, like, my whole attitude towards animals just changed. I always loved animals, but this is the next level of loving animals. So I brought it up, and then there are people always who ask the question, say, Haris, which books state that Umar bought slave girls? So while you were talking, I found it because it was still in my history. So this is Nafi narrates that Ibn Umar, this is Ibn Umar, bought a slave girl. He exposed her legs and put his hand between her breasts. So this is not Umar bin Khattab. I think this is Ibn Umar. So my mistake, but anyway, these guys are just as respectable. He did it from behind the clothes, so it seems to be implying that Ibn Umar had sexual motives when he examined slave girls. So yeah, that is the implication. But have a look at the response, though. However, SOA does not seem to be aware that this was because slave girl trade was similar to other trades, Nuria. Like you go and buy a TV or a radio set or a car or something. So she's just a slave. So you would inspect a new car or something.
You'd inspect a horse or something,
Yeah.
Check
in
the
which
teeth,
buyers,
yeah.
In which buyers had to rely on their senses and not solely on the word of the salesperson. Yeah, you could be a dodgy salesman. Yeah, it is in this light
check that the product's not like dodgy.
Yeah. It is in this light that Ibn Umar saw it as permissible to touch slave girls, not directly, but with closer separation. Oh, okay. So like just grabbing a boobie through clothes is like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, that's not a big deal. So anyway, so that's the explanation they're giving. Similar to the above, we find that Ali, the first infallible Imam in an authentic Shia chain, did the same thing. So there's an Imam. So this guy Sidney is responding to it. So he's saying, yeah, well, Ali did the same thing. So this is Shia source, Qurbul Isnad, page 103 by Al-Himyari. But anyway, so my mistake, it was Ibn Umar, it wasn't Umar bin Khattab.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.